jingle bells, jingle all the way. Always fun to ride the open house. Nay, hey! 1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
What? Do you know what year it is, Ryder?
Huh?
It is Christmas 2015. Okay, that's enough screaming. hey, can you tone it down? You're here, I need you here.
Our kids are at very rambunctious ages right now. Ryder's 3 and Sierra's 1.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle.
So Ryder turned 3 this year, which is crazy. It seems like yesterday he was still crawling after the cat food in Columbia, Maryland. And this is the first year that he's gone to school. So we put him in preschool this year, just 3 half days a week. We're incredibly lucky to have Jed at home with the kids, that this is more of a luxury for him to try to get him easing into school and around other kids and things like that. He's done incredibly well. He's such a smart kid.
How old are you?
Tell them how old you are.
3.
3?
Can you count to 10?
I can't.
Can you count to 20?
No, I can't. 2 10.
Can you
count to
count
100?
100? Do by tens.
No, let's
10,
do
1, 2, 10. Ready?
10, 20, 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
There you go.
If I can remember correctly, we had some plans for a weekend that fell through. And so we had a weekend where at the last minute we didn't have anything to do, and Tiffany and I looked at each other and said, let's potty train Ryder. We didn't think he was ready. He didn't talk about it, didn't act like he was ready, but it turns out he was. By that 3rd day, he was actually completely potty trained. So as a result, we moved him out of his crib, and he got his own bed.
For Sierra,
Sierra, say hi. Hi.
she's become a person. In the last year, she went from sort of very cute little blob to walking running, smiling, laughing, singing, inquisitive, very, very expressive facially.
Beginning to communicate more effectively, we're able to understand what she wants. She's very stubborn, very willful.
Very nurturing, even at this age. You know, there'll be a whole block full of toys and she'll go after the baby and she'll hold it and she'll pat its back and just go, oh. So it's just very interesting to see that she just instinctively does that. She's such a little girl. She loves her frilly dresses. She picks them out when I let her pick out her clothes. Those are the things that she picks out, are the big frills and the princesses and...
Oh no, my princess. Oh.
My turn.
Princess.
Oh, thank you, princess. Oh, another princess.
Another princess.
I wake you up.
She's really a
Yay, princess. She's a girl through and through.
We kicked it off with a big camping trip to Death Valley.
Valley, yeah.
That was with a bunch of your resident friends.
It was.
And it was a pretty big
Rory
trip.
and Rob and their families.
And I think it was actually when we were standing at Badwater Basin, which is the lowest place in the continent, we realized we were about 80 miles away from the highest point in the lower 48 states. So at that point, I think we decided that we should climb Mount Whitney this year.
Yeah.
To train for that, we did a number of mountains around Southern California. We did Mount Baldy.
Started off with Baldy, went to San Jacinto,
And then, of course, there was
San Diego. We climbed Mount Whitney this year, which was the tallest mountain in the contiguous United States, and it was very cold when we climbed it, so we didn't exactly get our first choice of dates.
no, we got our very last choice of dates.
Yeah, the last day of May, first day of June was when we got our permit for, so we're like, you know what, let's just do it.
There was a big snowstorm, a late snowstorm in the season, and actually as we're driving to Lone Pine, which is where the prep is, Nobody has made it to the top of Mount Whitney for 12 days. The day before we arrived, the first people to summit make it to the top. We're like, okay, we can do this, but we're not going to be able to take the normal trail up.
We put on some crampons and an ice axe and helmets, and we ended up climbing up this very steep chute. And that was interesting enough because we woke up really early, made sure it was solid, and it was.
And we ended up making it to the summit on the second day, June 1st, 2015. We were the second ones on top of Mount Whitney.
Which was incredible. I mean, the feeling of being on top of the world essentially for a little while. We were the only ones there for quite some time. So that was such an incredible experience, and I really enjoyed that. Coming down, however, was a different story.
The snow had softened up. It got up to 70 degrees, and it was pretty slushy and pretty treacherous going back down.
I was really scared for my life for a little while. I don't think Jed knew how scared I was going down. I didn't want to tell him because it wouldn't have helped anything. But I am not comfortable in snow. I was just so scared going down that I was just gonna fall and fall and fall and never stop till I hit something hard. After a little while, we got tired of just sort of stepping in 1 foot at a time and going down by inches, and so we ended up glissading, which was actually really fun, if not also terrifying, where you slide on your side and you use your axe to sort of stop yourself and control your rate of speed. I thought I was going like 50 miles an hour, but Jed shot a video, I was probably going like 2 or 3 miles an hour.
Despite the fact that it was cold, it was scary, and it was snow blinding, I think she's proud of it. I think she had a good time on the trip, and maybe would do it again in different weather conditions.
I think I would do it again, especially if it wasn't in the mid of winter.
We also did some camping trips in the Sierras up at Rock Creek.
The Dorschners, that was a lot of fun.
We had some torrential downpours. The ranger said that it was the most rain he'd seen in 3 or 4 years. And there's a water flow that goes under our tent and sucks up about an inch or 2 of topsoil from underneath the tent, so the entire tent settled down.
We did the Laguna Mountains, which are just an hour east of San Diego, and that's where we saw.
Hey buddy, hey Ryder, come here. Come here, tell them about the fireball. Do you remember the fireball?
What did you see?
A fireball.
Where was it?
It was up in the sky.
What did it look like?
It looked like a ball.
Yeah, was it coming right at us?
Yeah,
Were you scared?
I wasn't.
You weren't scared at all?
Mommy was scared.
Yeah, Mommy was scared.
Oh yes, Ryder did protect me. And see air.
So it was we were camping and we looked up in the sky and there was this thing that looked like a meteor and it looked like it was coming right for us, and it was really kind of creepy. Never seen anything like it before.
Super creepy.
And
I was confessing my sins. I was doing all sorts of things.
it was a Triton missile, a nuclear missile that was launched from a ship or a submarine off the coast of the Pacific, and it was front page news because everybody all up and down California saw it.
So in April of this year, I was asked to serve as chief resident of dermatology at University of California, San Diego, with my co-resident Miriam. So I did the first half of the year. She's doing the second half of the year. And it wasn't a position that I wanted, at least not initially.
Kind of looked at the responsibilities that the chief resident had. And Tiffany was like, you know, if I ever try to be chief resident, I want you to punch me in the face and bring me to my senses.
I had spent most of last year petitioning not to be a chief resident, along with my other co-second years who were also petitioning not to be chief resident, because it's sort of a thankless job. A lot of hours, you hear everyone's complaints. Jed encouraged me to take it as a way to sort of work on my leadership skills, and not because I didn't have any, but because it's not a role that I had really tried to step into in the last several years. So it was scary, and I was a little reluctant, but I'm really glad ultimately that I did.
When she decided that maybe it would be a good muscle to flex, a good practice to get, she was all in, and she did a great job of pursuing that and of handling it responsibly. Her peers and the attending doctors all trusted her tremendously, and with good cause.
My sister Ruth got married, right? Were you a ring bearer?
I said, I don't want to be a ring bearer. I want to be a
Is that what you said?
that you wanted to play with Hannah. Who is Hannah?
Hannah's a girl.
She's a girl.
Is she your wife? Did you get married?
I did.
You did? You got married?
I got married with Hannah.
You did. You got married with Hannah? Not only did we get to go out to Montana and see all the family, but Ruth
You're fine now.
asked me to be the officiant at the wedding.
Yeah.
So I got to marry my sister, which is a Montana rite of passage.
It was a beautiful ceremony. Jen did very well, and Ruth looked extraordinary. She was a beautiful woman.
What did you do this year?
I climbed up the mountain.
You did. What else?
And I played with Sissy.
You played with Sissy. And who's Sissy? Is that Savannah?
Yeah.
Did we go to Yosemite with her and Nana and Happy for Thanksgiving? We did. We played in the snow. What else did you do?
Wow, snowballs at people.
At People's?
And Happy for picking at my face.
Happy did throw a big one at your face.
Yeah. That was so silly.
It was silly. So we were again blessed this year that Jed has been able to work from home with the kids. I don't know, however, how he gets anything done at work. I mean, the kids are a full-time job and a half, and they are just everywhere and require attention every second of the day. And somehow, not only does he manage to be the best father with children who adore him, but he's won like every job award. Every month they give an award to, and I think he's gotten at least 5 of them in the last 8 months or so. So not only is he able to do this amazing job with his kids, he's doing an amazing job with his job, and I just don't know how he does it. And he's Superman.
So this year is Tiffany's last year as a resident. It'll be the first year that we can live wherever we want. We're not tied to a residency program or a medical school. So we did some fairly extensive research. We built some spreadsheets.
Very extensive research. A lot of spreadsheets.
We finally settled on where we're going to live. So next year, and when your residency is done, in the middle of the summer, we'll be moving to Fort Collins, Colorado. So we're pretty excited. See dermatology and
Finally, after just, 15 short years of training.
and we'll be moving.
Sierra, smile. Good job.
Do me.
Brighter smile. Good job, buddy.